Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another edition of Sports Update Ghana. And coming up in this edition, we're going to look at the performance of some Ghanaian players in the UEFA Champions League, as the likes of Salis was in action for RC Lens in their game against PSV in the UEFA Champions League. Also, Forson Amankwa, a Ghanaian international who plays for FC Salzburg, was in action against Inter Milan in the game that was played on Wednesday in the UEFA Champions League. So, updates on all this and more, as well as results from the UEFA Champions League, coming to you very soon. But before that, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Like, share, and don't forget to leave a comment. So let's get right into it. And it was Ghanaian midfielder Salis who was handed a starting role for RC Lens in their away game against Dutch side PSV in the UEFA Champions League. Well, Lens ended up losing the game by 1-0 as they conceded the first goal by the 12th minute, as De Jong scored the only goal of the game for PSV to win the game by 1-0. Well, it wasn't only Salis who played for RC Lens in this game. They also had Austrian player of Ghanaian descent, that is Kelvin Danso, in defense for RC Lens in the game against PSV. But despite that, they couldn't win the game. They lost the game by 1-0. Well, for Salis' performance, he played 90 minutes of action in the game and had a passing accuracy of 82.2%. In terms of attack, well, Salis was fouled just once in the game and had 45 passes in the game. He had 37 of his passes accurate with a success rate of 82.2%. Well, he lost possession of the ball on 5 occasions, and his team conceded 1 goal in the game. And also, Salis committed 2 fouls in the game: 1 interception, 1 shot block, 11 tackles, and 5 successful tackles, giving him 45% tackling ratio in the game for RC Lens in their defeat to PSV. So that was how Salis, the Black Stars midfielder, performed in action for RC Lens in that game. But he wasn't the only Ghanaian player who was in action in the UEFA Champions League games that were played on Wednesday. Well, Ghanaian midfielder, that is Forson Amankwa, came on as a substitute to play for FC Salzburg in their defeat to Inter in the UEFA Champions League. Well, Samson Baidu, another Ghanaian international, was in action for FC Salzburg in this game as well, and unfortunately they lost that game by 1-0 as they conceded the goal in the game in the second half after a very, very tough first half. It was Lautaro Martinez who scored the only goal in the game through a penalty kick to hand Inter 3 maximum points in the game against RC Lens. But let's check out how Forson Amankwa performed. He came on as a substitute to play in the 87th minute and ended up getting a few minutes under his belt. Well, the Ghanaian player had a passing accuracy of 60%, and Forson Amankwa, who used to play in the Ghana Premier League, did his best for the team. He had total passes of 5, which 3 were successful, and had 1 long pass in the game. He lost possession of the ball on 2 occasions and committed 1 foul. Well, Forson Amankwa is such a good player, except that I believe he can be utilized in the Ghana national team very, very well. But his fellow Ghanaian compatriots, that is Baidu, played 90 minutes of action for FC Salzburg in the game. He had a passing accuracy of 88% and lost possession of the ball on 5 occasions. His total passes was 59, out of which 52 were successful, giving him an 88% passing accuracy. So that was how Samson Baidu, the other Ghanaian international in FC Salzburg's team, performed in their game against Inter. But let me run by you the results for the matches that were played on Wednesday in the UEFA Champions League. So Bayern Munich defeated Galatasaray by 2-1 in their encounter, and FC Copenhagen came from behind to beat Manchester United in a 7-goal thriller Copenhagen winning the game by 4-3. Such a heartbreaking result for Manchester United fans. But for Arsenal, who were without Thomas Partey, they were able to defeat Sevilla by 2-0 at home. PSV, as I told you, defeated RC Lens by 1-0. Then in Group C, it was Napoli who drew 1-1 with Union Berlin. Then Real Madrid defeated SC Braga by 3-0. Real Sociedad won their game against Benfica earlier in the day by 3-1. And finally, FC Salzburg lost at home to Inter Milan. So that's by way of update on performance of Ghanaian players in the UEFA Champions League. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Until then, thanks for doing the watching. Please subscribe, like, share, and don't forget to leave a comment. I'm out.